yesterday, and I forgot to press record.
Oh, right on. Yeah, there you go. Let's record.
Excellent. How you been keeping anyway?
Pretty good, man. It's good to have this album release right now. Something positive to focus on during all this. It's been a good distraction from reality, thankfully.
Yeah, definitely. It came out on the 17th. I'm correct.
Yep, that is correct.
I listened to the album. It's very, very brutal.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's awesome. So can you tell me a bit about the album? How long it took to record?
Yeah, sure. We wrote and recorded it over a 6-month break from touring, which was nice. Kind of get back to like being a normal human for a second. But the album, the writing came together really fast. There was no like real planning going into it. We prefer to like just let the album take an organic kind of shape, and it was exciting. Like right out of the gate, when I got the first few songs, I thought, wow, this is cool, and we're doing some different stuff here. I feel like we kind of got confident with the success of the last record, and having this new era begin with Brandon in the fold as a songwriter. And I feel like we all got the confidence to kind of take a few risks this time and push things into a little bit of a new territory creatively, which was fun, definitely.
Yeah.
So it came together really quickly, and it was a very positive experience. And the recording too was very smooth. We trusted Brandon to record the bulk of the album, to record each of us, which was awesome. Saved us some money and gave us a lot of added control to have him producing things. And we were able to tweak the small details for a lot longer than we had in the past, and really put things under a microscope. And yeah, I think it all kind of played into making a more professional end product than we ever have.
Yeah. So with the LP and all that, have you had difficulties trying to promote it? Like a lot of bands which I've spoken to have put their promotional side and they release dates back because of the difficulties through promotional. Have you had that problem or not?
Well, we wrestled with the idea of postponing the album, but we just went for it, and I think it's been a smart move. We were lucky to get in before all of the pressing plant shutdowns, especially for vinyl stuff. And we have taken a hit, as far as like we're not out on tour with Testament right now, like we're supposed to be, which would have been a huge high profile thing for us. So we would have sold some copies in person to the fans that first week. And also people not being able to go to the record store was another hit that we took. But the playing field has been so leveled by this entire thing that we are actually able to show up on the charts and made some big waves, which was exciting for us, definitely. But we've just been maximizing the internet right now. Like I've been doing so many interviews, and that's also been kind of keeping me occupied, thankfully. And I've done over 100 interviews since this started. Wow. So been really just maximizing the opportunity since everybody's stuck at home and lots of magazines have been reaching out. So I've been in a press tornado during this entire thing.
One of the things which I've said during this lockdown period is that I've made it a mission of mine to buy 2 vinyls every fortnight. So every fortnight, like it starts now on Tuesday, is my next order. So I'm making sure that I'm still contributing to bands by purchasing the albums, and I'm trying my best to get as many of them signed as I can.
Right on, man. Yeah, I've still been buying CDs. This is definitely not stopping me from doing that. It's like one of the joys in my life, definitely. And bands need support right now. You know what I mean? A lot of bands are hurting that can't go out on tour. We're feeling that financial strain ourselves, definitely. got to give back a little bit for sure.
So, going all the way back to the beginning, who's your inspirations and what artists did you grow up listening to?
Megadeth was like not the first metal that I heard, but it was the awakening that I was like, wow, I'm a metalhead and I love this, and this is going to be my thing. That was in like sixth grade, beginning of sixth grade. As far as like what would influence the band, At the Gates was a big influence musically, definitely. Carcass was another. I think Carcass was probably my biggest influence vocally. I was trying to do the two voices that they were doing, the high and the low voice, so that kind of became my thing, the multifaceted approach. But yeah, I was a child of like, the big four and Pantera and Sepultura were like, huge at the time. Like 94, 93, around there was like really instrumental years for me getting into metal, and it was definitely an awesome time
I was the same. My introduction into metal was Metallica, Injustice for All, and Megadeth, Slayer, going all the way back to South of Heaven and all that. So that was my introduction into metal. And like Megadeth, I was into Megadeth before I was into Metallica, and mine was going all the way back right to the beginning. So it's I can understand what why Megadeth would have been one of your bands.
I used to like draw pictures of their faces and stuff as a kid, and like wear a Megadeth shirt every single fucking day to school. And I was living it.
Yeah, I remember going all the way back. I must have only been about 11 years old, and the only music which I knew then was bands like Bucks Fizz and things like that, which my family were listening to. And when I went into school, it was everyone talking about Iron Maiden and Eddie, and I actually thought that Eddie was a band. And I was like, yeah, I'm into Eddie, and everyone's like, what are you talking about? Eddie got a new album and all that. I felt like a right dick.
You were just excited,
Yeah. But I was the same. I used to have my school books, and every single day I would try to improve, because my favorite band is Kiss, so I was always drawing Gene Simmons' makeup and the writing, and I was the same with Iron Maiden and AC/DC. My school days were the best. Party Eddie part.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That was definitely me drawing all over my folders and stuff at school.
Yeah, definitely. It's amazing. So what's your plans for the rest of the year? Do you think you'll be back out on tour?
That's hard to say, man. We were pretty optimistic at first. So we were we started to book a tour for the US. We assembled the lineup. We like mapped out the routing and everything.
Yeah.
But a month later, I'm not feeling as optimistic, so that's been dashed already. We were planning on coming over to Europe and the UK in the winter, but that's not looking really good either. Yeah. So, we're just waiting for the opportunity to hit the ground running, and, we're trying to keep the momentum from this new album alive until then. And, yeah, as soon as they'll let us, man, we're going to hit the ground running, and I expect, 2 or 3 years of tour for the album. So yeah, man, just keep my fingers crossed, and hoping people are excited to see us out there once this thing subsides.
Over in the UK, over here, we've got there's like a mixed reaction to this COVID-19. So there's a lot of artists which have postponed to later in the year, and there's quite a few people which think that bands will be allowed via restrictions to tour, but me personally, I don't think touring artists from Europe and the United States and all that be coming over, because obviously there'd be a lot more restrictions on travel that side of it.
Yeah, I don't look forward to that. I do think venues are going to reopen at a lower capacity at first, which is going to suck. And yeah, if the airport gets any more ridiculous than it already has been post 9/11, like, yuck, man. I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah, there's yeah, I've spoken to quite a few people and all that from non-music side as well, and I remember I went over the States. I went to Omaha, Nebraska, to see Kiss, and I was only allowed into the country because I just thought I'll go there, I'll get myself a B&B, go to the gig, go back, go to the airport, and leave. But they weren't going to let me into the country because I didn't have accommodation. And they'd be like, no, man, you're going to be sleeping on the streets. And I was like, no, trust me, I'm not going to be sleeping on the streets. But it was a lot. I was sat there. It was a long line of people sat next to me, all having visa issues. And there was me, and my beard was a lot longer, my hair was longer, and I must have looked well dodgy.
But you made it through. That's cool.
Yeah, definitely. But no, over here there's things like Planet Rock. They still going ahead with the festivals. I'm not sure what's happening with Bloodstock Festival. I don't know if that's going to end. Nothing's been cancelled yet. So hopefully that will still continue to go ahead. Plus, you've got Slipknot with the Knotfest. That's coming up. It's either August, September time.
Oh, right on. Cool.
Yeah.
And not
yeah. So when you do come over to the UK, what do you think you'll be doing? Arenas or smaller venues?
I guess it depends on what they'll allow. We're not quite an arena-sized band by any means, but I hope to be playing some decent-sized club shows, probably mid-sized. UK treats us really well, and seems like the album is definitely resonating over there. So, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what transpires in the future.
Yeah. Well, a lot of artists, they all like join up. Like Megadeth did in Oslombach with Five Finger Death Punch and Bad Wolf. So a lot of artists over here to get the arenas, there's like 3 or 4 big bands, which might not fill an arena by themselves, but as a group they can. Is that something which you might think in the future?
That would be amazing. We're always open to going, being support to a bigger band. There's tons and tons of bands I'd love to tour with still that we haven't, Cradle of Filth, Dimmu Borgir, Lamb of God, In Flames, the list goes on. But that would be amazing to get into a show as high a profile as that over there. It'd be very cool.
Talking about touring and all that and bands, who would you like to tour with now? And what bands do you listen to now rather than when you first started out?
I definitely want to tour with some of those bands I mentioned just now. They're would definitely open some doors for us to reach new fans. Amon Amarth would be amazing for us. Definitely. We've played briefly with them in Europe, and that was really cool. Cradle of Filth, like I said, would be amazing. Any of the big four, of course, would be amazing. We just had our Testament tour here in the States canceled, so going to put them back on the list. I want to tour with them still.
Yeah.
But Yeah, man. In a lot of ways, I still listen to all the same bands. You know what I mean? Like, I found out about way more bands now too, but I
Yeah,
still like, hold those same bands really on the same pedestal. You know, it's all about Megadeth and Carcass and Slayer, and you know,
yeah,
I got a lot of love for the classics, definitely.
yeah. And the what I find that like with your style of music and things like that is that it's very, very hard to get the airtime. Like over in the UK, we've got nothing which has anything like Behemoth, yourselves, Carcass, Candlemass, nothing like that, because we've got Kerrang Radio, which is it's not as what it once was, that's for sure. And you've got like Metal Hammer and Planet Rock. So Planet Rock like plays the more ballady type um, musicians, but it must be hard for yourself in Europe trying to get the exposure with your music on airplay.
Yeah, you know, that's it's not something we ever count on, you know, being an extreme metal band and being from the death metal world. We're very thankful for those moments where we can like kind of get some airtime, but it's all about word of mouth for us pretty much, and you know, using the power of the internet. And yeah, that's just not really part of our world. It really hasn't ever been, you know.
Oh,
And if we wanted to be a more commercial band and kind of go that direction, we could, you know. But for
yeah,
us, it's all about staying the course and honoring what we've done in the past and respecting the fans. And
yeah,
you know, it's we're cool with being an underground band, you know.
yeah. It's like when you look at Slipknot. Slipknot gets the exposure. I don't know if it's because of the masks, because of the stage presence, but they pretty much get the exposure as bands like yourself and all that don't seem to get that fair um, fair kick like the like bands like Slipknot, and they're just as extreme. Do you know what I mean? So and not radio played. Uh, definitely, definitely.
I think those guys are just like the perfect storm, like you said, of stage presence and identity, and you know what I mean. So they're definitely blazing a trail for the rest of us by being as extreme as they are, and so yeah, I thank them for that.
Yeah, brilliant. Finally, where can my readers and all that find you on social media?
I am on Instagram. My name is Trevor TBDM there. Same name at Twitter, Trevor TBDM. I'm also on Twitch lately. I've been streaming some Nintendo games and talking Metal Shop with the fans. My Twitch handle is just my full name, Trevor Sternad, no space. So yeah, come hang out, hit me up. I'm definitely all over the web right now.
Brilliant. And thank you for your time and keep yourself safe during this terrible time.
Right on, dude. Thanks for having me, and you too. Take care of yourself.
Cheers. Thank you.
See you, buddy.
Okay, bye.